Happy Halloween, you beautiful people! We've made it through another year, another session of Terrorthon. Here we are, Halloween 2022. Who would have thunk it? Now, once again, same as last year, I find myself indebted to Matthias T. Taylor on YouTube, who has done this incredible Silent Hill 2 soundtrack cover. The link to his channel is in the description. I highly request, actually, that you subscribe to him because he does not get the recognition he deserves. Tell him Dopey Poke sent you. You're doing me a favour as well because this guy absolutely deserves your attention. Anyway, here we are. This one is called My Top 10. It's very self-indulgent, I understand that, but hear me out. Coming up with these Halloween videos is fucking hard, okay? Like, I've only come up with 2 so far, including this one, but it's difficult, you know, like, what can you do that is different and kind of special compared to all the videos you've done up to this point? It's hard stuff, but I hope you don't mind if I indulge a little bit and just share with you some of my all-time favourite horror movies. And if you haven't seen any of them, I'm sure it goes without saying, get them watched. Now, normally what happens in these Terrorthon videos is if I make a flub while talking, I'll immediately stop recording and, you know, start again and fix it and that. But with these Halloween videos, it's more off the cuff. I tend to be more chill and just... so I might talk a lot of shite. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Because, of course, like last year, it's not just the subject matter of the video that you're going to see. There's going to be some extra stuff, so let's not waste any time. So, naturally, my top 10, as I say, my 10 favourite horror movies. But the thing is, there are certain horror movies that I've spent so much time on YouTube talking about. Too much, if anything. So I'm going to exclude them from the list because they would be obvious, and you've heard me talk about them at length, so I'm not going to do that. So, first of all, the biggest one, Dawn of the Dead. How many times have I talked about this movie? It's my favourite movie of all time, so I have so much to say about it. If you'd like more thoughts, you can watch the video I did called 10 Movies, which had nothing to do with horror. It was all movies, but of course some horror made it in there, where I talk at length about why I love Dawn of the Dead. It's phenomenal. Next is Let the Right One In, also included in that top 10 video. Well, let's just call 10. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I just love this movie. I just think it's a horror movie and a love story and coming of age as well. Sort of like Stand By Me with vampires, if you like. And I really like the Swedish setting in the snow in the 80s, and it's all very oppressive, and it just makes the love between these two outcasts, Eli and Oscar, shine. And yeah, man, it hit me in the feels the first time I saw it, and it still does. The soundtrack as well, it deserves some credit. I forget the guy's name. Let me just check. Johan Soderquist. I was close. I had to look it up. And then looking it up, I've just discovered a TV series of the movie is coming out very, very soon. Oh shit, son! I'm excited for that. Then we've got Creepshow, an anthology horror movie, also appeared in my 10 movies list. I just love it. I remember seeing it on late night TV when I was, I don't know, 13 maybe. And the aqua zombies, as I call them, scared the shit out of me. But in a weird way, it attracted me as well. I remember rewinding that scene and getting closer and closer to the television to get a better look at the zombies, and it freaked me the fuck out for about a year. Like, their voices and everything. The whole movie's phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but that's the standout section for me. When the Tide Comes In, I think it's called, but the one with the aqua zombies, it gives me the fear. And, of course, no top 10 list would be complete without honourable mentions. Trick or Treat. It's an anthology movie, much like Creepshow, except all the stories are connected. I love it, I really do. I try to watch it every October. It's just not as good as Creepshow, and too similar to include in the top 10. Next we have Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love all of the Universal horror monster movies, but I'll be honest, they wouldn't be my first choice when watching a horror movie. If I feel like going retro, on the rare occasion I feel like doing that, then absolutely, Creature from the Black Lagoon is my favourite. Although I do have one big criticism, is that the Creature's theme is loud, jarring and annoying, and plays far too much in the movie. Eraserhead. This would be higher if not for one thing. I can't stomach this movie. This movie gives me the shits and makes me so uncomfortable. Some of you may remember from last year when it was selected in the random movie choice. that I was genuinely scared. That was only the second time I'd ever seen the movie, and fuck me, man, it has not gotten any easier. It's an incredible movie, though. I recommend it. It'll change your life for the worst, but yeah, check it out all the same. Then we have Them, still going with the honourable mentions here. I think that's the greatest poster of all time. I love the plot, giant ants. It reminds me of Zombies Ate My Neighbours especially, and it reminds me of a game called It Came From the Desert as well, which I've not played, but I've seen footage of it, and yeah, I just think this is an ultimate creature feature. I really, really enjoy it, and I recommend it. Now we've got a Giallo film, The Beyond. I grew up with this movie, and I knew that the special effects were pretty terrible. I mean, it's the part where someone's getting bit by multiple spiders, and when you see the teeth going into the flesh, it's so obviously a puppet spider, like they don't even try to hide it. But I loved it for its cheese, but I think as I've gotten older, my tastes have changed just a little bit. I still love Giallo movies, and especially The Beyond. It's my favourite Giallo movie, if I had to pick one, I think. Suspiria is creeping up there, though. But yeah, it's just not my first choice these days. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This movie's just incredible. I think this is the only time that I've seen a movie title and it's given it exactly what it promised. It was fun, it was funny, it was... I'm not going to say scary. It's not scary, but I mean, there's bits that are quite freaky, I guess. But man, I wish I'd seen this when I was younger. I would have loved it to death, and I still do. Just not quite enough for it to crack the top 10. And for the last honourable mention, we have The Cabin in the Woods. It's a fantastic movie. It takes all of the horror tropes and turns them on their head. And if you've not seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but there are certain parts towards the end where it's like, that is fucking amazing. It's just so good. I love this movie, and if you're in any way interested in horror, you have to see it. And with that, we're on to the actual top 10, guys. So, number 10, It Follows. This is a movie that only came out quite recently, 2015, I think, and it just hooked me instantly. Shout out to the person who recommended I watch it in the first place. And, you know, I think I watched it another 2 times in the space of like 2 months, showing it to my friends, and we all loved it. We all had arguments about, would it follow you on a plane? And we're like, oh, no, it couldn't go on a plane. And like, I don't know, I just have fond memories of, I think we were quite drunk that night, which goes without saying, I suppose, having a conversation like that. But I just think the score is by Disaster Piece is fantastic. I like how it's timeless. They've got, cell phones, but old cars and old clothes, and it's just timeless. It's obviously that's what the director was going for, and it's great, and it's really creepy, and it's simple. It's incredibly simple. Something follows you, and well, I mean, I guess that's the extent to which it's simple. The actual rules of the creature are different and weird, but you know, that's what we need. We need different and weird. That a good movie makes. Beg your pardon. Number 9, Carnival of Souls. I can't believe this cracked the top 10, but I looked at the top 100 list that I made last year, and not top 100, just 100 horrors, because all my favourites were in there. And unbelievably, yeah, this is up there. I just love this. It's like a nightmare. It really feels like a nightmare. Like, Eraserhead is a much more visceral nightmare, but Carnival of Souls just has that really creepy vibe to it, and despite the fact it was made so cheaply, like, you would never know. And it feels like an extended Twilight Zone episode. What more of a compliment can I give it? That's one of my favourite shows. And the organ soundtrack, and just the setting of the carnival, and that final sequence, which I won't spoil, that is nightmare fuel, man, and it's all done in black and white, and I think this is one of those cases where the black and white adds to the creepiness. Fantastic movie, hugely underrated. Number 8, The Descent. Just like Carnival of Souls, I'm shocked that this is actually my top 10, but it's just so damn good. I'm very fond of claustrophobic movies, and even movies that take place in one room, like take 12 Angry Men, that's almost entirely in one room, and there's another movie on this list that's almost entirely in one room. I don't know what it is about it. I think when actors are forced into small spaces like that, then, well, not the actors so much, but the writers have to make sure the dialogue is up to snuff. And I like claustrophobia, not, experiencing it, obviously, but seeing it in a movie is just great. I could take or leave the monsters, but they have a cool design, and some of the scares in this movie, even there's one in particular that even every time I know it's coming and it gets me. And yeah, an all-female cast as well. You don't see that very much. It's probably going to become more and more common as time goes by with the current political climate, or socio climate, I should say. And yet, I forget that sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, they're all ladies. Oh, well. But they all do such a fantastic job. And I think the fact that it was a Scottish director, and it was shot in Scotland, and the lead actress is Scottish, it just makes me love it even more, and I recommend The Descent highly. It's very much a movie of two halves, but I've said enough. Go watch it. Number 7, The Exorcist. This movie is so strange to me, and I'll tell you why. I watched it with a friend when we were like 9 years old, and we pissed ourselves laughing. Especially the line, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell." We were pissing our pants laughing at that. But every time I've watched it since, as I'm getting older, it's getting scarier. And I think it's the fact it's the child in peril. It really upsets me and just bothers me. And the effects are fantastic. The subliminal imagery with Pazuzu, or whatever the hell that white-faced bucktooth thing is, that gives me the creeps. And it's a very sad story, and it never lets up. There's always something going on that just brings your anxiety all the way to the top. And of course, Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. Do I really need to say any more? And this is, like, I hate to be obvious, but the thing is, I didn't want to pick horror movies that are lesser known just to be different. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to speak from the heart and just say, what are my favourites? The Exorcist is in probably every horror top 10 list of all time. But maybe there's a reason for that, you know? Get that one watched, absolutely. Number 6, Saw. I can't believe it. You know, when I think about all the horror movies I've watched over the years, I've probably seen this one more than most. Again, it takes place in mostly one room, so the dialogue has to shine. And the thing is, it doesn't really. The Saw dialogue's actually quite poor. And the lead actor is not a very good actor, I'm sorry to say. And especially in the scene where he gets a hold of the phone, he's like, Ali? Where are you? It's terrible acting. But, I don't know, it's got charm, and yes, it's gory, but the later Saw movies were far gorier. This one's light by comparison. And, yeah, I don't know, it had an impact on me when I was a teenager. I just remember reading Amazon reviews about it and thinking, no, I tell you what it was. I saw a clip of it on TV, but I never got to finish it. I think my mum came in and changed the channel or something. And I was like, oh, damn, I really wanted to watch that. So I ended up getting it, and I was not disappointed. And I would recommend Saw 1 to anyone. Number 5, The Fly. What a movie. Like, what more can I say? Number 4. No, I'm just kidding. The Fly was directed by David Cronenberg, who specialises in body horror, which may turn some people off, understandably. The effects in this movie are fucking insane. The special effects they managed to pull off, I don't know how they did it. Crazy stuff. And the story is just very sad, and like, just watching him transform more and more into Brundlefly, it's disgusting, of course, but you can see his sanity slipping away. And I think the thing that bothers me the most is that if there was a human-fly hybrid, I think they got pretty damn close to what that would look like and be like. And yeah, The Fly is just unforgettable cinema. Get it watched. Number 4, Day of the Dead. I couldn't include Dawn of the Dead, so here we are. I love all 3 of the Dead movies, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. I love them all equally for different reasons. Well, not almost equally. Dawn of the Dead just pushes above the rest. But Day of the Dead, I watched this a lot with a particular friend when I was very young. We were into all these zombie movies. My mum would buy them for us, and we were way too young to be watching them. But anyway, that's another story. The acting is good. I wish I could remember that lady's name. Laurie Cardle, right? The lead actress plays Sarah. She's fantastic. And, oh god, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Joe Palacio, who plays Captain Rhodes. What a villain. Like, he's genuinely scary. I would not want to get on his bad side. Like, he would shoot you at a moment's notice, and he almost does shoot someone at a moment's notice at one point. And the special effects are at their peak here. The Dawn of the Dead was pretty good, but Day of the Dead, the special effects are even better. And again, it's quite claustrophobic, which I like. I like the score. I find it very cozy, the score of Day of the Dead. And just the not so much banter, but the chemistry between the characters I find very homely and comforting as well, despite all the chaos that's going on in the movie. So I recommend the entire trilogy, including this one. This one's underrated. I don't know what everyone's problem is with it. Number 3, The Shining. Again, a super obvious choice. Do I really need to elaborate? I mean, it's one of the most famous movies of all time. I remember seeing the VHS cassette of this in Woolworths, which doesn't even exist anymore. And on the back of the VHS, they had a screenshot of the lady in the bathtub. And that, I never forgot that image until I finally saw the movie about 8 years later. And it freaked me out even more than when I saw the picture at 8 years old. I was like, god damn, man. Like, Stanley Kubrick directing a Stephen King movie. How can you go wrong? Stephen King is wrong. He says that The Shining movie is bad. Look, what did he want? Did he want his stupid topiary animals? You know, those things in the book, topiary animals come to life and attack them? That's fucking stupid. Like, Stanley Kubrick made the right call, Stephen. I'm sorry. Deal with it. It's the best adaptation of your work, bar none. Number 2, The Blair Witch Project. This is a very special place in my heart. It might surprise you that a found footage film where you don't even see anything really is so high on my list. Let me explain why. When I first saw this movie, there was an asylum close to where I lived. I've talked about it in a previous video. And I used to take my camcorder there with my friend and friends. Like, a bunch of us went on different occasions. And I would record around the asylum. And the video quality looked just like the Blair Witch Project. And the one night we were going to stay, the night I talked about, when we were going to stay overnight in the asylum but couldn't do it, I came home that night at like 3 in the morning. I think I snuck in the window or something. I don't know how I did it, but I got in. And then immediately watched the Blair Witch Project. So I was like, well, didn't get to stay overnight at the asylum, so let me just freak myself out even more. And that's exactly what happened. My phone vibrated and lit up, and there was no message or notification. I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. So I powered the phone off and went back to bed, and then it went off again. It turned itself back on, and there was no notification or message. And this was in the middle of me watching one of the scarier scenes in the Blair Witch, and it scared the absolute bejesus out of me. I've never had anything like that happen before or since. Just wow. And as for the movie itself, yeah, the video quality of it just reminds me of all the home movies I used to make, and I really feel with found footage, especially this movie, that you're right there in the action. And like, I've been in situations like that. This month alone, when I was shooting for that video I did yesterday, I was out in the woods with a friend in the pitch blackness with nothing but a torch, and we were hearing noises and second guessing them, and like, I've been there, so I can feel what the Blair Witch was trying to do. The movie, that is, not the character. I can feel what this movie was going for 100%, and I'm right there with it. I fucking love the Blair Witch Project. And number 1. Now, remember, before I reveal, if it wasn't for the 3 movies that I said at the start, the 3 obvious ones, they would all be on this list. So I'm not saying this is my favourite horror movie of all time, but it might be my second favourite. The Silence of the Lambs. I should really just drop the mic and walk away now, shouldn't I? The only horror movie to ever win the Oscar for Best Picture. I rest my case. Hannibal Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins. Holy shit, what a performance. I don't use this word lightly, he's spellbinding. You can't take your eyes off him, and he owns every scene he's in 100%. And like, I've found myself watching compilations of his scenes on YouTube. Like, just those bits, and I've walked away happy. But that's not to discredit the other actors. Jodie Foster is phenomenal. Anthony Heald, I hope I pronounced that right. It's either Held or Heald, I'm guessing Heald, as Dr. Chilton, phenomenal. Buffalo Bill, James Gumb, played by Ted Levine. I only know him from, he played Rusty Nail in another horror movie I forget the name of. And he's also in Flubber. What a contrast. But yeah, I've seen this movie at least, I don't know, maybe 10 times, and even still, there are certain scenes that make me squirm and make me very uncomfortable, and I just, yeah, this movie just has a hypnotic power, a grip over you. if you've never seen the movie before, some of the twists are like, whoa! Like the one in the ambulance, Jesus Christ! Like, I've seen people tweeting about that I know who had never seen the movie before, and they were all tweeting about it like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. And this movie came out in 1991, and I saw these tweets like a year or two ago. Like, such is the power of this movie. It is a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. And I think a lot of what makes it so good is that this could happen, man. That Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter were both based on real life killers and psychopaths, like real cases. This could happen. I think that's the beauty of it. Although, one question. Why did they put vapor rub on their noses when they're around the corpse? They work for the FBI, surely they're used to that. And there you go. That is my top 10 horror movies that don't include the obvious ones. Oh my god, James.
Could she really be here?
Oh my god, it's true.
Waiting for me?
Oh, Silent Hill 2. Oh my
Mary
god.
died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
Oh my god. I want a release date already. Just take my money, man.
In my restless dreams, I see that town.
Oh shit, man.
Silent Hill.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Thank you. Now, luckily I've got back up here to give me emotional support. Oh. You better show Pyramid Head. Is that the mannequin? There he is! Oh!
What you are.
Kicks the key away. Yeah.
I know why I needed you.
I mean, James looks a little plastic, but... Okay, I take it back. He looks good there.
But it's all over now.
Now it's time to end this.
I don't need you anymore.
Man, this is showing mad spoilers,
I'm
but
ready.
it's only spoilers if you know it's a spoiler, you know?
Mary?
Yes! Yes! Ooh! Oh, I'm not sure about that. Okay, well, it's still early days. Oh, no date though? Fuck it, man, it's happening, who cares? Ah. Life can be pretty good sometimes, eh?
Hi, my name is John McKellen. I'm the creative director at No Code, and we are working on Silent Hill.
It's fucking Scottish!
I remember playing the original
Oh!
Silent Hill on PS1 back in.
Okay, well, this
To say
is
that
obviously
Silent
going to
Hill
be the
has
best
been an
Silent Hill
inspiration
game
to
of
No
all
Code
time.
would be a massive
With the right people behind
understatement.
it.
Last but not least, the secret ending of Silent Hill 2, Inuend, is also
Let's
recreated
go!
as a 1/6 scale coin bank statue. The diorama statue will remind you of the last scene
Amazing.
where James...
Alright troops, just waiting to see Halloween Ends. Actually fucked up already. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I like it better than Kills, but not as much as 2018. Some of the kills are really inventive, quite disgusting as well. One was especially gruesome, which we didn't see too much of, which I'm glad of, to tell you the truth. A lot of the kills were sort of in two parts, so someone you'd think, oh that's it, and then a little coup de grace added on top of it, and yeah, it was pretty intense. I did not enjoy seeing graffiti that said "Love lives today." A little callback to that cringy part in Kills. Did not appreciate that. It's very difficult to talk about it without giving too many spoilers, but I will say the movie lives up to its title. It has a lot of twists. I will be seeing it again. and I hope you will too. Now, it's very late and I would like to get home. Thank you for watching. And that is it, friends. Terrorthon is over for another year. What a ride it's been. Let's not dwell on what happened at the start. It was shitty, but I don't think it killed our momentum too much. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. There's no thanks section in this video because so many new people came aboard this year. I got to see a whole bunch of new movies like Near Dark, What We Do in the Shadows, the Blob remake, Midsummer. I finally watched that. That was great. I got a visitor for a week. Look at that, Terrorthon bringing people together as it should always be. And of course, the return of Silent Hill. With my hand on my heart, I had no idea it was coming back. That Loud Planes video was edited a month ago. The music for this video was chosen also a month ago. So it's just one big massive really happy coincidence that Silent Hill is coming back. I can't wait, man. It's been a hell of a ride, guys, and I can confirm that Terrorthon will be returning next year for 2023. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So thank you so much to everyone who engaged with it. It was a lot of work, but I think it was worth it. And yeah, roll the film. Oh Jesus. Oh my god. Fuck off, man. Oh fucking hell. Noise they make? Right. I didn't know that could happen. Some Home Alone shit right there. Don't worry, Marv, I'll get him for you. Row, 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 row. No! You hear the beating of your heart, you know the screaming's gonna start. Here comes the really scary part. I've ever played. Ah! I'll answer that in a second. Oh! Get. No! Oh no! Yeah, this is. What? What? Scoot? Did he just... Right there. Go! Oh, did you see that? All the trees begin to moan and the monsters grunt and groan. Rotting faces full of slime. Don't you know it's terror time? And it's terror time again. I think we make it safe. Whoa! Oh my god! Go! Go! Moving. Oh! Oh my god! Go! Go, go, go! Oh my god, we did it. We did it. Oh my god! We did it! Oh Jesus! What are you doing? This bitch. She's trying. What are you doing now? God, man. Why are you so slow? Come on! Oh! Oh! Yes! Yes! Oh! Yes! And that's all for Terrorthon 2022, friends. Thank you once again for watching. If you'd like to see me stream a game to completion, your options this year are Maneater, Silent Hill 4, and that's about it. So if you want to see those games finished, just pop it in the comments and it will be done. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and see you next year. Cheers.